Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, Matt Spease, and today we are looking at The Daughter of Dr. Jekyll, released in 1957. The Daughter of Dr. Jekyll stars Gloria Talbott, John Agar, Arthur Shields, John Dierkes, Martha Wentworth, and Marjorie Stapp. Daughter of Dr. Jekyll is directed by Edgar G. Ulmer. Now, this is not part of the Universal reviews that I've been doing. This is a Allied Artists Film Ventures movie. But I figured it's sort of a bonus. It's a film that a lot of people do not know about. It's very obscure. So I figured, what better time to give the film a little bit of more notoriety through a review, because I think it deserves it. This is a variation on the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1886, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. And it is sort of what I said She-Wolf of London was bad at. This excels at. Whereas She-Wolf of London was a film that gave you a premise possibility of June Lockhart being the werewolf, and then not giving you that in the end. In fact, you don't get any werewolf by the end of that film. Daughter of Dr. Jekyll gives you everything that it promises. It has a similar premise to She-Wolf of London, that's why I mentioned that. But it actually capitalizes off of everything that it promises. Gloria Talbott plays a character named Janet Smith in this film. She has come to a mansion that she is set to inherit on her 21st birthday, which is the next day, alongside her fiancé, George Hastings, played by John Agar. Her guardian is Arthur Shields' character of Dr. Lomas. And he notifies her that not only will she be inheriting this mansion, but she will also be inheriting the entire family estate and money that goes with it, because he reveals to her that she is indeed the daughter of Dr. Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll has died sometime before the film starts, and this is a shocking reveal to Gloria Talbott's character. She immediately wants to break off her engagement to George, and that is because Dr. Lomas has informed her that Dr. Jekyll's problems might be inherited onto her. And she doesn't want to pass that on to any children with George. Later on in the film, Dr. Lomas ends up hypnotizing Janet, supposedly to test her reflexes. It's a moment in the film where it's already stating the obvious. Dr. Lomas is up to something. He is trying to make Janet believe that she is a Dr. Jekyll style character where she can turn into this hideous monster version of herself and kill people the way that Dr. Jekyll was supposedly but there's a few women who are killed. She believes that she is the one responsible for these killings because she's had these weird dreams, and when she wakes up, she's got blood on her hands. She looks in the mirror and she sees the Hyde, almost, version of herself. But George does not believe any of this. And John Agar plays this, like I said, I really like him as an actor. He really plays the heroic character here, trying to protect his fiancée and save her from this dark supposed fate and prove to her that it's not real. Which he's right. Because Arthur Shields' Dr. Lomas is trying to make her think that she is insane, and he's been using a combination of hypnosis and drugs to implant these ideas in her mind and make her believe that she is insane, and make her even believe that she should kill herself, which at one point she's ready to do until George stops her. Gloria Talbott plays all of this very well in this film. She's always been a really talented actress, and she plays Janet in such a way that you really feel for her, and you really, and I mean, she's gorgeous too, so that helps. But this is such a unique version of the Dr. Jekyll story. And by the end of the story, spoiler alert here, it is revealed that Dr. Lomas has been the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde style character all along, and it was him that was killing people and not Dr. Jekyll. He did the same thing that he did to Janet to Dr. Jekyll and convinced everyone that Dr. Jekyll had experimented on himself with these drugs and made himself into this Mr. Hyde and gone insane. And now he was trying to do the same thing to Janet. And if it wasn't for John Agar as George Hastings and another character, John Dierkes as Jacob, who works as a handyman and everything. He does all sorts of things for the family. And he's a big guy, John Dierkes is. So he's at one point he believes that Janet is the one that's responsible for the killings of these women. He even returns with one in his hands, and believes that she is, and he's prepared to kill her. He's prepared to stop her murderous rampage. But when it is revealed to both of them, both George and Jacob, that Dr. Lomas was the one that is behind these murders and is behind all of this, and is indeed the Mr. Hyde. He works alongside George, and they end up killing Dr. Lomas. And he reverts back from the Mr. Hyde-like persona back into his regular human form. As I said, it is what was promised with She-Wolf of London, because you do get. It didn't say, the title did not say daughter of Dr. Jekyll and she is a Mr. Hyde or Mrs. Hyde, whatever. It didn't say that. It just said daughter of Dr. Jekyll. The title is accurate. It is accurate. It is about the daughter of Dr. Jekyll, and it has a Mr. Hyde in it that is killing these people. It's not Gloria Talbott's Janet that is the one that is killing. I mean, Edgar G. Ulmer does a really good job on this. The atmosphere, the feeling of the film, and the nightmare sequences that he puts together that are being done to Janet's mind, thanks to Dr. Lomas. You know, he does a really good job on this. And this is how, if She-Wolf of London had been like this, I would have given She-Wolf of London a very good review. And speaking of the review for The Daughter of Dr. Jekyll, I would give The Daughter of Dr. Jekyll an 8.5 out of 10. This was a very big surprise to me back in the day whenever I first watched it. I had never heard of it. Like I said, this is an obscure film. And when I watched it, I wasn't expecting much. And I was pleasantly surprised by the great story and the great acting in it. I mean, Gloria Talbott's gorgeous, and John Agar is cool as hell. Arthur Shields as Dr. Lomas reminds me of Strother Martin as an actor, which I like Strother Martin, so Arthur Shields playing this Dr. Lomas character, who is the main baddie of the film. The way he talks, it just reminds me of Strother Martin. So take that, if you will, however you want. But I don't know if that's a plus or a minus, but that's just the way I see with this character. And John Dierkes is really good as Jacob too. He's a big guy. Not a bad actor either. He's about 6'6", I believe he was. 6'5", 6'6". Big guy. But yeah, this film is really good. If you have not seen it, please watch it. Don't let what I just told you spoil this for you. Like I said, it's not like any of this was really hidden very well in the film. I mean, it's pretty obvious whenever the movie starts who the real villain is. With the little hypnosis things that he's doing to Janet. You can easily tell that Dr. Lomas right from the start is the main villain of this story. But have you seen this film? If you have seen this film, what do you think of it? Do you agree with my review of this film? Let me know in the comments down below. And, as usual, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it really does help our channel out here a lot. So, I think this is the end of my older movie reviews. I'm going to be moving forward with some, not so much newer films, but more 80s, 90s, stuff like that. So, you guys can look forward to that. So, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching.